College classic? Did you say college? Well, sure you did. You said college classic, can't believe it, because I heard the end times. The end times. In the end times, a lot of people are going to be turned from God. When we read the Bible and we see all the things in the Bible that we read about, we see so many different things happening, like just to be more specific with you. In the end times, we see things that no one has seen since the beginning of time. And it's not uncommon that we see these things today, but we don't understand them. And Ezekiel, he's taken up in the spirit and he's taken to another time. And he's taken to a place where there are people by a river, and he's seen Cherubim. He's seen a great fire unfolding within itself, and what comes out from in between the fire are human-like creatures, except they have hoof feet. And he doesn't understand what they are. And these are creatures from God before the creation of man, human. And these are God's angels. And they're very dangerous. Can we kill them? Yes, of course. Can you destroy them? Yes, of course. If they're fallen angels, you can. But if they're not fallen angels, no, you cannot. So, there could be a judgment that he was witnessing, but at the same time, it can also be fallen angels. But it seems these cherubim are holy, and God's not going to allow his angels to come down and eat with us. He's not going to allow it. So you don't have to worry about ever eating with them if they're holy angels, because they won't do it. Tag, you see that you do it not, worship the Lord. And they won't allow it. But we know that the fallen angels will eat with you, and we know that from the lost books of the Bible, or reading the Apocrypha, the Aramaic, the Hebrew, other texts, even the Greek. Not to say that it's in the Greek, but there are things mentioned. But just to study these angels a little closer, to know more about them, we find that they do eat. They will definitely eat, and they will require it. We see here in Revelations, from Revelations 2 through 3, the 7 golden candlesticks to the angel of the congregation in Ephesus, to the angel of the congregation in Smyrna, to the angel of the congregation in Pergamum, and also in Thyatira. We see from the angel to the angel of the congregation. And so these are letters to someone who has a horn. You see, these angels, they have a horn. That means that they'll be heard. And it's important that we understand exactly who they are. As we go through the candlesticks, we see how tough it gets. It gets really, really tough travailing through these candlesticks. And we can go to that's Jesus Christ going to the candlesticks, the Spirit going unto the candlesticks and warning them and letting them know what they need to change so that they be right before God. He's letting them know that there is a Creator, and He wants you. And that the end is to come. And then we see here, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seven seals, and I heard one of the four living creatures saying with a loud voice as thunder, "Come." So we see that there are seals here, and the Lamb is opening them. But when we get to they're suffering witchcraft at this point. A lot of people say, how can that be? Well, it's not hard to tell they're suffering witchcraft from the get-go, because when you go to Revelations 2, it says, "And to the angel of the church in the congregation of Ephesus write, these are the things that he says, who holds the seven stars in his right hand, who walks in the midst of the seven golden candlesticks. I know your deeds, your labors, your endurance, and you cannot bear bad men, and that you have put those to test, to say they are apostles, say they are righteous, say they are Jews, and they are not. And you have found them guilty, and they're liars. Also showing endurance, and you have borne up for my name's sake, and have not grown weary. Nevertheless, I hold this against you." Now he's letting them know that you're keeping my name. I have something against you. So these people are seated with them, and they're not really who they say they are. So this here tells me that somebody's practicing identity theft, or these people went into spiritual warfare, and they're no longer, their souls are no longer with us, just their flesh is. And when they go into spiritual warfare, they go into battle against Cherubim. And these Cherubim are excellent spiritual fighters, and practically can't be beat if you fight them spiritually. You see, they have to fight you spiritually, because if they're fallen angel, they'll do no good to fight you in the physical. You'll beat them. But to fight them in the spirit, you'll lose, especially if you're not sober. Now, these Cherubim, they come from a mothership, and each owner of that cherub, or whoever owns it, whether it be personal or a company, they acquire all those people in the Cherubim. Those are their trophies. And that one spirit, or whoever he shares the cherub with, they'll take over that flesh. And they'll go in your house. And they'll do things. They'll find a way to get their way. Their job, meet Daniel, is just to get the entire family, each and every single one, and destroy them, and make them worship the beast. So here we see in chapter 2, where he says, Jesus Christ makes it clear that there are things that he sees that he doesn't like, that he hates, and that's the Nicolaitans. Nicolaitans sacrifice their children. They believe in abortion. They believe in teaching children to eat at a very young age. They believe in respect immediately when it's necessary. So they start teaching young children to learn about adultery and idolatry at a very young age. And God doesn't like that. He really doesn't like it. And we see here in the Smyrna, this one gets to me. In the congregation of the angel of Smyrna, these are the things that he says, the first and the last, who became dead and came to life again. I know your tribulation and your poverty, but you are rich. And the blasphemy by those who say they are themselves are Jews, they are not. And they are of the synagogue of Satan. So you see that now they're suffering, those that were suffering in Ephesus. So we know that these guys aren't who they say they are. They are Satan's angels. And now people before that went into spiritual warfare, and they're gone. They've been gone a very long time. Now these people are procreating on the earth, and they're using our flesh to do it. And they're harboring souls of demons. When Jesus walked the earth among us, he battled those demons, and he did it beautifully. And they didn't know that spiritual warfare isn't for us, lest it be in Christ Jesus in prayer. When someone's breaking the laws and they're breaking the laws, you must do away with them. That's why they stoned those people. They started stoning the wrong people and judging the wrong people, and that's what happens when you let other people come into your country or your city, and you let their gods in, and they're very respectful, and you live by the flesh, and it's just not right. You have to live by every word of God. That's why Jesus Christ said, man shouldn't live by bread alone, but by every word of God. He was warning them, he was telling them. I'm going to find ourselves doing that again today. This college classic campus hits on TC Bar. That's just a little bit about what the end of the world's going to be like. There's so much more because this witchcraft, these demons, these devils, you see, witchcraft can't be powerful unless it has a strong following to contend. So 1/3 of the world, or even a quarter, but in Revelations chapter 6, we find 1/4 of the world will be overcome by Satan. And that's only by the fourth candlestick. So right now, if we were in the fifth candlestick going into the sixth candlestick, that's much more than that. It's going to be very tough to fight against these guys if we have any tolerance.